Hey everyone, CJ here from Ocular CMS. Today I'm going to show you how to edit and configure your add to cart functionality for e-commerce websites. You do need to be in advanced mode, so if you see a link that says switch to advanced mode, go ahead and click that. Otherwise, just click on Manage Site and Database. And the reason we're going into the database is the areas of the product on the products page. This is the live website. I just switched to another tab. These are fields that are in the database table, my products table. Add to cart is actually another field. So here we are in the database. This is the products table. I'm going to click on that and say edit. And I'll show you what I mean by add to cart being an actual field. So I'm going to just show all my records here so that I can illustrate that. You'll notice that we've got, name, product ID, and so on. Well, over here, this column, this field, says add to cart. Now, there's nothing to click on any of these, but what it is basically it's a placeholder so that if and when you do make a database view, you would also add the Add to Cart field to your selection of fields to display on your website. And as long as you do select that field, then it will also show up here. But there are a lot of options that you can set for the cart itself. So to change or modify the properties of a field, you just simply click on that field header, and this is where everything happens. So first of all, we've got the field name, the product ID field. The fields, or the properties rather, that are marked with an asterisk indicate that these are required. So there are a few required fields. What this is asking you to do is map the product ID field in this shopping cart button or add to cart button. So it's going to ask you to find the field, assuming it exists in your products table. Find the field that represents your product ID field and select it. The same thing with price. It's going to ask you to select the field that says that is or contains your price. If you have another field that is going to be used for sale price, then go ahead and select that. Item name, that's required, so select the field that contains your item name. Max quantity field. This is a text field that would hold a number that, if there is a number present, that will be the maximum amount of items that you can add to the cart. So for example, if I had a field for the max quantity, and for a particular product I had 2 for the value of that field for that one product, and I mapped this to that field, then when I go to add it to the cart, no matter how many times I add that to the cart, it's only going to allow me to add that one product twice. If nothing is mapped, then it defaults to whatever quantity you use here. So the default is going to be 1. So if I were to add to the cart, it's only going to allow me to do a quantity of 1. It will not let me do 2. If I just want to make a global setting for a max quantity, let's say 20, then what's going to happen is I can add any of the products up to 20 quantity of each into the cart. So that's a brief description of what that means. The weight field is asking you to map it to a field that you might have that contains a weight for each product, and that is measured in pounds. This is used for shipping calculations. Inventory field. What this is again, it's similar to the max quantity field, where it would be a field in your table that would be a text field, and if it contains a number, then what it's going to do is it's going to basically say, okay, you can add up to X amount of products as long as there's still inventory left. When I say add products, I mean add products to your cart. So let's say that for one particular product, I have an inventory of 5. And if I add this to the cart, I can add up to 5 of these this particular item without any problems. But if I try to add 6, if I try to add a 6th one, or anybody else tries to, it won't allow them. Also, if I actually purchase, let's say 5 of these, the inventory count that will be in the table for that one product will reflect the new inventory count for that product, which in this case now would be 0. And once a product's inventory reaches 0, then a message will display saying that it is out of stock, and it won't allow you to add it to the cart or purchase it. If there is no field mapped, then it just simply ignores that, and it allows people to purchase as many as they want. There's no limit, unless of course there's a limit on how many they can purchase at a time, but overall there would be no limit as to how many products would be sold. The image field is mapping it to a field that might contain a thumbnail for the product. For example, that's how I'm going to go ahead and add something to the cart. That's how this is displayed. And basically the reason why we're mapping all these fields is so that it knows what to display here in the cart. So as long as I map it to an image field, it's going to display that image here. If I map this to the name, the product name field, then it's going to know what to put there. Same thing with the price, quantity, and so on. So that's why we're mapping all these. Button image, this is something where you can override just the generic add to cart button. You can override it with an image, a graphical button, if you wish. The way you do that is by entering in the media ID. That's a numerical identifier that can be found in the media library. Otherwise, if you leave that blank, obviously it just displays the regular add to cart button. And finally, this field, if you map it to a true-false field type, basically if a product has a true value for that particular field, then it's not going to be for sale. It won't let you add it to the cart. That's helpful if, let's say, you have a product that's going to be coming out soon, but it's not yet available. You don't have it in stock yet, but you do want to generate some interest and you want it to be on the website. Well, that's a good way to put it on the website without it being for sale. And when you're done, of course, just save the properties, and instantly those changes will be reflected on the live website. So that about does it for configuring your Add to Cart button and shopping cart. Be sure to check out other videos related to e-commerce, and I hope you've enjoyed this.